No! 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 No, 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 no! Wait, 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 wait! Wait, 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 wait!
Xbox has officially lost the console wars, waged all the way in the early 2000s, with consistent fire from all sides putting out generational classics. But as of big 2025,
it's over. We are screwed.
Xbox has raised the white flag and surrendered, with not only the release of their own first-party games like Indiana Jones and others on PlayStation and Switch, but the release of Halo on PlayStation has sealed the deal, and Xbox is now completely a third-party publisher. Naturally, Xbox can't admit it, and is seething and coping about it, with Xbox Game Studio head Matt Booty saying that Xbox's biggest competition isn't another console. We are all seeking to meet people where they are. We are competing more and more with everything from TikTok to movies, which is the craziest way to admit that you lost the console wars, as you watch the franchise that carried your platform get in bed with one of your biggest competitors while you sit in the cut corner and watch it all happen in 4K. I hate to state the obvious to a multi-billion-dollar organization, but gaming company. I understand the argument that's being made by Xbox executives in those statements, since every entertainment related company is competing for people's attention, and short form video has absolutely dominated, with apps like TikTok and Instagram being designed to keep us scrolling into oblivion. But saying TikTok is your competition instead of PlayStation or Nintendo is like a Michelin star restaurant saying their real competition is McDonald's or KFC. Sure, they both provide food, but let's stop taking the piss here. To put Halo being released on PlayStation further into context, the equivalent would be like releasing a Sony game from a major flagship PlayStation franchise like God of War or The Last of Us on Xbox consoles. All of the Sony ponies would go completely ballistic if that ever happened. Sony would never agree to that though. PlayStation games are exclusively for PlayStation and PC. But if you ignore the whole PC thing, then yes, completely exclusive. Now a lot, if not all of the reasons to own an Xbox console have completely faded away. Since why get an Xbox if all of their games and PlayStation's exclusives are going to be released on the PlayStation and eventually PC? Then there's the next gen Xbox, reportedly a PC console hybrid that can play PlayStation games through Steam, potentially costing up to $1,200.
What?
Xbox is pitching this machine as a very premium, very high-end experience. Translation, it's a glorified pre-built PC with a fancy marketing label slapped on it to make you think that it'll be worth the month of rent you'd be dropping on it instead of just buying a PC. With their current situation being this way, it has me thinking that Xbox's future is completely cooked. But them losing the console wars isn't why they're cooked. Well, not the main reason. And before we move on to the rest of the video, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out and lets me know you guys are enjoying the content. Anyways.
But holy smokes! Xbox has bought Bethesda. Like outright, they bought Bethesda. So they own Wolfenstein, Doom, Prey, Dishonored, Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Starfield.
Microsoft just bought Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion.
These two buyouts changed everything over at Xbox and raised the stakes overnight. When a major corporation spends billions of dollars to buy multiple companies, the expectations rise to the roof, especially within a company like Microsoft, well known for the countless times it pursued corporate greed leading to the enshittification of their products. And Xbox, or should I say Microsoft Gaming, is no different. While they now own the rights to industry-defining franchises like Call of Duty, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, and many more through these blockbusting acquisitions, it only cost them the mere price of $80 billion. Now, I don't know about you, but if I spent even $100 on an investment, I'd want to see my money back. So imagine spending $80 billion. It became critical for Xbox to start generating massive sales from these studios and their platform to satisfy their investors. But with Microsoft wanting Xbox to hit 30% profit margins by any means necessary, they've set an almost impossible bar. Demanding 30% is insane when the gaming industry average is 17 to 22%. Even PlayStation and Nintendo, the most successful console makers and publishers, don't always operate around there. To reach 30%, Xbox would need to create some godlike live service game where people are eating, sleeping, and shitting this game, while throwing all of their money at microtransactions. That, or somehow become a more profitable publisher than Nintendo, who has a literal army of fanboys ready to buy whatever they release. But none of that even matters since Xbox is no longer competitive. Xbox doesn't have first-party exclusives on their platform that would allow them to compete with PlayStation and Nintendo, or an affordable handheld alternative to the Steam Deck or Switch 2, and has the most expensive console option after jacking up their prices. What they did have though was trusty old Xbox Game Pass, a subscription service that, at a reasonable price, gave you an incredible library of games that you can access at any time from anywhere, allowing you to play many games without fully committing to buying any of them, at the low price of... oh, they raised the price on that too. Xbox Game Pass was always too good to be true, especially with games like the newest CODs coming out on Game Pass day one, which not only didn't help to bring people over to Xbox, since more than 80% of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 players bought it on PlayStation anyways, but they also reportedly lost over $300 million in sales on Black Ops 6 because it was on Game Pass. At a certain point, we were bound to get the Xbox Game Pass price hikes due to the immense value it provided. A library of some of the best games you will ever play at the tip of your fingertips for less than a Netflix subscription was never going to last. Just didn't expect Xbox to entirely lobotomize the value proposition by making it cost as much, if not more, than actually owning the games you played throughout the year. And don't even get me started on the amount of layoffs they've had across all of their studios in order to hit whatever numbers make their bottom line increase. It's honestly all building up to be an incredible business strategy. Tank your publisher role, tank your studios, tank your hardware, put all of your eggs into the subscription basket, and then greatly reduce the appeal of the subscription service. The funniest part about all of this is that Xbox wouldn't be making moves to be a fully multi-platform publisher or implementing insane price hikes if they were actually still competitive with PlayStation and Nintendo. Okay, they'd still probably jack up the prices on their products, but they've completely shot themselves in the foot over and over again with their recent failures and the many mistakes they've made in the past that brought them to where they are today. A complete shell of the Xbox that used to have insane motion in the hearts of gamers around the world. That is, if their new strategy doesn't work out. The thing that surprised me the most about this pivot that Xbox is making is that it seems to be the entirely right move after years of Xbox taking L after L. Think about it for a second. There aren't any console selling first party exclusives on the Xbox anymore. The current and previous generation of Xbox didn't get nearly as many sales as their PlayStation and Nintendo counterparts, and their games sell more on other platforms than their own. Why wouldn't they just give up on the console war and pivot to whatever is helping them make the most money? Which in this case is selling all of their games on whatever platform they can shove them onto. With their console business also reportedly seeing a 29% drop in the last year, moving away from pure consoles to start making PC console hybrids like the Xbox Rogue Ally and the next gen Xbox isn't a bad place since Windows already dominates the PC market. If they can provide a solution to the age-old issue of console gamers avoiding PCs due to all the hassle and the lack of plug-and-play simplicity with their next generation of hardware, I can see things working out for them. Xbox, while it wouldn't be in the console race anymore, can still be a major pillar in the gaming space where people would want to remain within the ecosystem. If only PCs and Steam didn't exist in the first place. Steam may not have the perfect solution yet for a plug-and-play machine that gives you the capabilities of PC gaming, but none of the boring stuff like updating drivers, overclocking, etc. But with the newly announced Steam machine, they're getting pretty damn close. Designed to be a PC gaming console that plugs into your TV without any of the maintenance headaches. It basically does what Xbox wants to accomplish with their future hardware, but Steam already has the library and ecosystem to back it up. It does sadden me that Xbox is completely out of the race though, with them f***ing themselves over more times than we can count, since it means less competition in the console space, where in previous generations, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo would try to one-up each other with better games and consoles that would result in much better games for us. Franchises like Sonic, Forza, Wuthering Waves, Call of Duty, and many more were created out of developers wanting to create games that were able to capture our attention over the status quo games at the time. Sony and Nintendo can really get away with whatever they want, which they already have been, but even more so now due to a huge rival like Xbox taking a back seat. So yeah, Xbox fumbled the bag, but hopefully they can prove me wrong with whatever they have in store. Let me know what you guys think about Xbox and its future in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. But if you're curious about what PlayStation and Nintendo are doing in this out of control gaming market, I've got videos breaking that down too, linked up on screen now. Alright, that's it from me. Stay safe. Moment out. Peace.